who met his death by an accidental discharge of a gun. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm in St. John's Church here in Edgeworthstown in County Longford, and this is a Church of Ireland building. We're going to walk around some very interesting graves here, stone carvings. Just like this one. We can see angels either side of this. And this is God have mercy on the soul of, is that Taddy McDermott, who departed this life in 1791 in his 66th year. So we just have another plaque on the wall here. It says, "Here lies the body of the Reverend Mr. S.
Sir John
Edgeworth, sixth son of the Honourable John Edgeworth. By his express directions, there's lots of writing on that there. I can't actually see it that well, but that name Edgeworth is actually, we're in Edgeworthstown, so I think the name comes from these graves here. This is the family vault of the Edgeworth family, and they're buried here. And there's a very famous woman who came from this area as well, Maria Edgeworth. I think she was a writer or novelist for children's literature and stuff like that. So it says on the side of it here, in this burial place lies the body one of the daughters of Richard Edgeworth, Esquire.
I think it says on the scarce.
On the scarce 9-year-old. When she died was remarkable for pity and good sense as well as beauty. She was born August 1734 and she died May the 3rd, 1743. And near her lies her sister Rachel, I think, is it Jane Edgeworth, a beautiful child who was born in 1741 and died in 1745. So beautiful inscriptions on that, and sad as well. So this is the family vault here of the Edgeworth family, and we can just see over the gate area here, you have all that stone slabs going across. So that would have been the entranceway into the vault. So they would all be lifted up off the ground there, and you could go down on the steps into the vault if somebody needed to be buried there. But I don't think anybody's going to be buried here anymore by the looks of it. So a lot of old graves, headstones.
Beautiful church.
That's the back of the old church here, Church of Ireland. And just read this one and see what this says. Pray for the soul of Mary Lamb, other wife Monaghan, who died April the 27th, 1787 aged 34 years old. So I want to thank, before I go any further, the caretaker of the old graveyard here. He lives in the area. The place was locked up, as you know, due to vandalism. You know, they were afraid these wonderful stones here would be destroyed. So I got in contact with the caretaker in the area, and he kindly came up here to open the gate for us and let us come in here and have a video. So if you're ever in Edgeworth town in County Longford, please stop by here. And they do tours here, I believe, as well. Lord have mercy on the soul of Nancy Salmon, who died February 1800, aged 50 years. And the stones here, the headstones, are just amazing. Beautiful work on them. As we can just see here again, we can see an anchor. We can a willow tree, another anchor, a snail. I don't think he was part of the headstone. Sacred to the memory of Anne Kenny, alias O'Brien, or alias Green, of Lissanore, who departed this life the 3rd of April 1848, aged 53. Also her husband John Kenny, who departed this life on the 28th of May 1856, I think, aged 73 years old. So that's another beautiful grave there. Now the next one over here we're going to go over and see is very, very interesting. I was speaking to the caretaker earlier, and he filled me in on a bit of info. So this is a pillar here, a life cut short. And sadly the story about this person that's buried here, a young boy, his father owned the circus, and they were travelling around to different areas, and his father owned a gun, and sadly the boy got a hold of the gun and it discharged and fired, and he was killed accidentally, the young boy. So we'll look at the inscription. So his name was Arthur Henry, beloved son of James and Ellen Lloyd. And you can just see there, who met his death by an accidental discharge of a gun on May the 26th, 1892, aged only 14 years old. Very, very tragic.
And remember he was saying as well that for years, every time this circus would come to town, the circus themselves, the people that worked in the circus, would come up here and play music at his grave every year.
So that's a lovely tribute as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for adding that in, because that is interesting. You know, every year they come here and play music, and they have a little circus in the area as well.
That was actually the circus master.
So how tragic is that, and sad that a young boy of 14 killed himself accidentally with his father's gun, and I'm sure his father was heartbroken, and actually I don't know, would he have felt a bit of blame on himself, you know, that the gun was left around as well. So now there is a connection in here in this old graveyard as well to Suzanne's name, Serenity Sue. The O'Farrells, because her surname is O'Farrell. So buried in this old graveyard we have the O'Farrell clan, and we can see their family crest on the grave. It looks like a bull on it there. Almost looks like that bull on the can, the red bull, you know, the same design. So we can see the family crest, the O'Farrells. And I think the name on this is it Daniel?
It's hard to see it.
It's hard to see. It could be Daniel O'Farrell, who departed this life in November 1754 in his 57th year.
His daughter's there as well. I think it's Mary O'Farrell.
Mary O'Farrell.
And she died in 1765.
1765, just there, yeah.
So there was the O'Farrell clan and the Farrell clan, and they used to fight each other. And somewhere along the way, some of my family have Farrell, I'm O'Farrell, so it's just interesting how it all came about. So we've originated from Longford.
Longford, the O'Farrells came from Longford.
Yay.
So that's where Serenity Souk goes back to, Longford, and we're here today. And it is lovely to see the ancestry, you know, and to follow, like people that watch the channel, to see where your family names are and where your people are buried. So there's a hand on this, and it's kind of hard to see it with the sun, but you can see a hand on it there. There's some wrought iron railing ones, and they have cleaned up this area, kind of, you know, cut up a couple of trees. And now the interesting part as well, another fact in here, is that Oscar Wilde, the famous Oscar Wilde, who's buried in Paris, and I've been to see his grave. His younger sister is buried in the old graveyard here, Isola Wilde, and she was only 9 years old when she passed away from meningitis, and she's buried here, so we'll go and visit her grave. Now this one is super detail on this, the inscription, the stonework as well. Look at that. We have the sun, the IHS symbol. We have some angels here.
More cherubs.
More cherubs, yeah. And another one just over the other side there as well. Fabulous detail in that stonework, isn't there?
Mm.
And it's like a tabletop, and you can just see the stone legs underneath it, and thankfully they're all still there, because some of them you do find they're broken. There's one maybe missing off it.
And he said there were 186.
And there's a woman, yeah, that's buried here. She was 108, I think.
108.
She was 108 years old, the woman that's buried here. Doyle is the name, so pray for the souls of John Doyle and his wife Margaret Levy. So he was John Doyle and she was Margaret Levy. Now he was saying the age was on it there somewhere, the 108, but I have trouble seeing it at the moment.
The writing is very...
But we see a 1793. Someone there aged 86, it
and
says.
it says here too, aged... Oh,
there it is. It's 104, is it?
Show me.
Wow, it's 104.
It is there, yeah.
So...
John, is it?
John, is it?
No, I'm not sure. Something on the
7th of December, 1793.
Aged
104 years old. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
To live till 104 years old in 1793 is remarkable.
And he's actually talking about he's trying to get that covered so it's preserved.
Yeah, they have to preserve that and cover it and keep it, keep it the way it should be. Save the history.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful graveyard.
Yeah.
And it's not far from the little town here. So I suppose I'll read a little bit of information now about Oscar Wilde's younger sister, and we'll go and visit her grave, Isola Wilde. So Isola Francesca or Francesca Emily Wilde. She was the youngest sister, and she died when she was only 9 years old when tragedy struck. She was visiting relatives in Edgeworthstown here in Longford, and she became ill, and she passed away in 1867 from meningitis and was buried here in this old graveyard, St. John's. Oscar was profoundly affected by the loss of his sister and wrote the now famous poem Requiem Ascat in her memory. He carried a lock of her hair in a decorated envelope until the end of his own life. At some point, the headstone that was here, erected by the Wilde family in memory of Isola, disappeared from St. John's graveyard, and its location was never discovered. In 2013, the people of the town commissioned a beautiful replacement inscribed with the first of Requiescat. It is situated here in the old graveyard, which we will go over and have a look at. So I just want to read the poem, and Oscar Wilde dedicated this poem to his younger sister. He was so heartbroken, he wrote this poem for her. So it's Requiescat. Tread lightly, she is near, under the snow. Speak gently, she can hear the daisies grow. All her bright golden hair tarnished with rust. She that was young and fair fallen to dust. Lily-like, white as snow, she hardly knew she was a woman. So sweetly she grew. Coffin board, heavy stone, peace, peace, she cannot hear lyre or sonnet. All my life's buried here. Heap earth upon it. So that was the poem that Oscar Wilde wrote for his younger sister. He was heartbroken over her death. And this is the final resting place here of Isola Wilde. So this is the new headstone they erected in the community. So in memory of Isola Wilde, who died the 23rd of February 1867, aged 9 years old. Requiescat. And you can just see the inscription there, Oscar Wilde, tread lightly, she is near. Under the snow, speak gently, she can hear the daisies grow. Oscar Wilde, 1873. So a brilliant piece of history, and in the old graveyard St. John's here, to come and visit the final resting place of Oscar's younger sister, who died tragically with meningitis, as I was saying. And I have been to his grave in Paris if you want to check that out. But a big thank you to the man, the caretaker, who let us in here today to walk around and explore this beautiful old graveyard and the history that's in it. So I'm going to leave it there at that, guys. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. So yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. Take care, see you on the next one.